I am Christie Arkovich. I'm a Tampa student loan attorney, and I wanted to answer the question today of what kinds of student loans can be discharged in a bankruptcy. This is a common question that pops up. And first of all, I would say that those student loans that are obtained to go to an unaccredited school or a foreign school that aren't eligible to receive federal aid, there's a federal code school list that we go by. Those are something that can be discharged in a bankruptcy proceeding. It's an adversary proceeding filed in bankruptcy. You also, if you're going to school less than half time, again, dischargeable. If the loans are made in excess of cost of attendance. Now, what that means is that back in 2005, when the bankruptcy code was amended in the Reform Act, they basically, a lot of private lenders out there thought, well, I would like to have my loans considered exempt from bankruptcy and be protected from bankruptcy. So what do we have to do to fit within the new law that said private loans are now like federal loans, or generally non-dischargeable in bankruptcy? So what they did was they called them a student loan, but in reality, were they really? The marketing materials that were sent were often allowing the person or suggesting that the person pay off debts, buy a car, do other things with the debt other than pay tuition, room and board, and books and supplies for school. And so those loans are nothing more than a credit card. They usually required co-borrowers. They often had high rates of interest. And there's no reason why they shouldn't be discharged just like a credit card. So what we do is we look to see what the cost of actual attendance, including room and board, is for a school. And if these loans were checks that were mailed to the debtor, usually, sometimes through the school, but usually it's independent checks mailed to the debtor, those are considered dischargeable because they're beyond the cost of attendance. So loans that are made to cover fees and living expenses while studying for the bar exam. They actually had, for law school, loans that you could obtain to take the bar exam afterwards. And these loans are called bar study loans. They're definitely dischargeable in a bankruptcy. And then loans made for non-qualified higher education expenses. So basically what we do is we file an adversary proceeding in our bankruptcy cases asserting one of these things, and that these loans are in fact non-education loans, and they should be discharged with the general discharge with any other kind of debt. These are known as private student loans discharge cases. I'll do a separate video on the new guidance with respect to federal student loans, but nowadays there's really no reason why you shouldn't look at each and every possibility of discharging or forgiving student loans and filing them in your bankruptcy. So I hope this video has been helpful to you. Please hit the subscribe button, if you will, at the bottom. Again, this is Christie Arkovich. If you would like to obtain more information about how to discharge private student loans, please go ahead and contact us at info@christiearkovich.com, or our office number is 813-258-2808. We see a lot of private student loan debt out there that's dischargeable, and folks don't know that there's ways to get rid of this. In fact, the CFPB, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, just issued some new material last week, the end of last week, that stated that they found a lot of creditors were trying to enforce student loans, private student loans, after a bankruptcy filing illegally when those debts were in fact discharged in the bankruptcy. And they intend to go after those lenders or creditors that are doing that. So if you have already filed a bankruptcy, please get in contact with an attorney such as myself to see is this debt still legitimate, or is it something that should have been discharged in my bankruptcy or still could be discharged. And the CFPB will basically provide some additional evidence for the illegality of collection of that debt. So thank you so much for listening. Hope you have a great day.